in this one I create the second scenario. Let me just see. Number of seats 7 is 800, B9 talent 7,500, B10 venue rental is 1,000, B11 amplification 600, B12 lighting 350, B13 ticketing 250, B14 security 300, B15 insurance 250, and the last one price per ticket 35. Okay, right, and then I click OK. I get the medium scenario already. Now we do the same thing with the last scenario. Okay, this is the large scenarios. It's the last scenario that we have. We have altogether 3 scenarios. Everyone, when you finish already, you will see that on your scenario manager screen, you have 3 scenarios altogether: small concert, medium, and large. If you said, hey, but actually the scenario name should be medium concert, not just the word medium or large only, you can edit the name of the scenario. If you want to edit it, just go to the scenarios. Just go to that scenario and then choose edit. Once you edit, it will ask you that it will pop up the scenario name for you. This one I name it as medium size, and then I click OK. All the values will be just like shown for what you type in for that scenarios. I don't want to change other thing. Oh, it's medium concert, sorry, medium concert. And then the last one is a large concert. Type large concerts. Okay, right. Okay, right now we get 3 different scenarios already. Okay, every time that I update or I edit the scenario, it shows in the comments as well. If I don't add anything on, it just shows when you modified that scenario or when did you create that scenarios. So everyone, now you finish yet for creating the scenarios? If you haven't finished, just complete it now, because in order to use scenario manager and scenario summary will be on the next step. If you don't have the complete scenarios yet, we cannot go to the next step. Okay, right. All right. So right now, some of you may ask me that, okay, why do we have to prepare the scenario? We don't see anything at all. Just enter all or create all the scenarios. But I don't see any usage or anything that is useful yet. Now it's just the preparation step. The next step is to use the scenario. In order to use scenario, we have like 2 different usage. The first one is what we call using the scenario manager to update the value in your worksheet. That is the first thing. You use the scenario manager to update the value in the worksheet. And the second usage of the scenario is that we will use the scenario manager to summarize and show the report to you to compare different scenarios. Okay, so right now we are going to use the scenarios to update the value in your scenario in your worksheet. Right now, assume that you are in the meeting room and your boss is asking that, hey, I just want to show, I just want to see the large concert because our customer is interested in the large concert. Can you show me, because I want to know that, okay, how much will be the profit so that I can propose to the customer. Okay, so in this one, the way to use the scenario to update or to show the value in your worksheet is this one. Firstly, after you prepare the template, after you create all the scenarios already, okay, in the meeting room, the things you do is that you go to data and then go to what if analysis and then scenario manager to pop up the scenario manager like this. And if you say that I want, suppose somebody would like to see the large concert,นะครับ, numbers of figures in here, you just click on large concert,นะครับ, and then you click show. Once you click show, all the values in the scenarios template will be updated according to your setup of the scenarios. You can see that here is a large concert that we prepare. So you can tell in the meeting room that the board in the meeting room that right now the profit is $318,500. Okay, something like this. Okay, let me just like set the format of the value first to be currency. Okay, all right. Okay, so this one is the value that can be updated by the scenarios manager. Now, if they would like you to just like switch back or reverse the value to be in the small size concert once again, you just go to data tab, what if analysis, and then scenario manager. Now you go back to small concert and then click show. All the values will be updated. Why do I call these features as a feature, not function in Excel? Because you can see that if I close the scenario manager, all the things in each cell it's just like the value. It doesn't have any formula at all for the yellow cells in here. So that's why I don't call it as a function in Excel. I call it as a feature of the scenarios. Now you can see that we have scenario manager already that can update the value according to our preset scenario in the scenario manager. In this one, when you have the scenario manager already, you know how do we gonna have like different values in different scenarios that we have. Somebody may just say that, okay, we want the scenario manager to update the value like this because when different customer comes to our company and they want to see our quotation, we may just like choose a scenario first and then we print this page out for them so that they know that, oh, if they would like to set up a small concert, this is the cost, this is the revenue that they have to know, and this is the profit loss that they may have. Okay. So when different customers come to see us, we can just like show them different size of the concert. But when some of them ask that, okay, I want to compare, I want you to compare for me. I want to know that if I choose different size of concert, how much will I get so that I can make a decision whether I should decide to set up, to hire you to set up small concert for me, or what other size for the concert for me. Now, how do we gonna compare? Scenarios has a feature to compare different scenarios that you set up in the scenario manager. In the scenario manager here. So that means the comparison will take place and show different scenarios in the same page for us by generating the new worksheet consisting of these values in different scenarios. Okay, but bear in mind when scenario summarize the data and prepare the report for us, it will prepare the report only for the cells that you specify in the scenario only. For example, let's have a look. I click on small concert and then I edit it. The values in the cell B4, B7, B9 to B15, and F7 will be shown in the report only. So what does it mean? It means that in here, you can see that the cells in green will not be shown because these kind of values, are from the calculation in these scenarios. They have the formula. But I mean in the scenario report, summary report, it just shows the value that can be varied according to our typing or our entering of the data. just a little bit more นะครับ let me change the color of profit loss a bit profit or loss in here นะครับ this is a special value นะครับ I just use blue color okay why do I have to change the color so that I will show you that this value will be the value that will be displayed in the scenario summary report as well when you have the comparison of the scenarios one thing that you would like to know apart from the value in the yellow cell is that your customer want to know that will they get some money as a profit or will they have to lose some money when they follow that scenario so the things that we have to do is that once you would like to display profit or loss นะครับ you can see that profit or loss is from calculation as well this is from revenue subtract cost in here นะครับ so in this one we call it as the goal นะครับ of the sale นะครับ goal of the value นะครับ or what we call output sales นะครับ we compare some values together in here to show the profit or loss so in this one นะครับ I go to the scenario manager once again นะครับ right now I'll use a button called summary I'll use a button called summary so everyone ครับ open up the scenario manager and click summary the once you generate the summary for the scenario it asks for the result sale นะครับ result sale what is it in this one it is profit loss นะครับ is a calculation among different sales that you have in different scenarios and it is the thing that your customer want to know in this one we talk about profit or loss so you click profit or loss so profit or loss here in order to let profit or loss to display properly in the scenario summary report you must use the calculation in the profit or loss นะครับ for example in here it's F13 subtracted by B17 in this cell นะครับ you don't type 9,500 otherwise the scenario summary report will show the error นะครับ okay next the button the button that we have นะครับ the radio buttons that we have either scenario summary or scenario pivot table report นะครับ it depends on you นะครับ but in this case I show you just the scenario summary นะครับ so I choose result sale that is profit or loss and then I click OK now scenario manager will generate the scenario summary report for us in the new worksheet นะครับ in the new worksheet in this worksheet it's called scenario summary นะครับ it's called scenario summary what is in there นะครับ the first thing you can see that okay scenario summary report is showing us for the values in 1 2 3 4 different columns in different scenarios you might have the question that we have 3 scenarios how come the scenario summary report show us for 4 columns of the values the first one it shows the current value that you have in this one you can see that current value and small concern shows absolutely the same values that means your current value right now is the small concern that you have นะครับ if you go back to see in your scenario worksheet here this is the current value it shows the value in the small scenario that's why in scenario summary report show the current value as a small concern size นะครับ and then it shows the value for small concern medium concern and large concern all of the value that we have but if you say that I don't want to show the current value to the customer because they will be confused you may delete it out นะครับ no problem now we have just 3 columns left นะครับ or somebody may say that oh I'll hide it yeah you may be able to do that just go to the column heading นะครับ and then just right click and choose hide just that นะครับ so you see small concern medium size concern and large concern here and the result sales show you different values นะครับ 9,500 33,750 and 318,500 นะครับ for the result sales that we have that are profits for different size of the scenarios on the left hand side นะครับ leftmost column here it just show plus or minus symbol. This one will show collapse or expand of these values นะครับ for example if you say that customer want to see the comparison of the profit or loss only, they don't want to see the itemized values, then just click minus in here, then this one it just show the profit or loss นะครับ while somebody said that, oh, I want to see just the itemized thing, I don't want to see the result sales right now, you can hide this one as well นะครับ so plus or minus here is to collapse or to expand the value in the cell นะครับ and the top one here นะครับ underneath the purple purple lines here it is just like the comments นะครับ or notes that we have. If you just expand it, it just show that okay which scenario has like the information for the comments or not นะครับ okay right. So this is the scenario summary report that can be generated by the scenario managers that we create. So that means if we have 3 scenarios, your scenario summary report will show like all 3 scenarios for us, including the current value that we may not want it now. Okay. Next thing that you have to know is that the scenario summary report is static. What does it mean? Static in here means that if you change any value in the scenarios, this report will not be updated for you นะครับ because of what? If you double click on any cells, for example I double click on the cell 7,500 here, you can see that this is 7,500. This is not the formula. So when it is not a formula, it is a constant value. If anything is changed outside this worksheet, this value will not be updated for you. For example, if I just realize that actually the talent for the medium-sized concert, the artist say that okay, it's not 7,500 anymore, it is 8,000 นะครับ. So in this one นะครับ okay, let's see the scenario summary first. In this one, let's see, I said that okay, the talent for the medium size นะครับ currently is 7,500, and the artist said that okay, they would like to increase นะครับ the price for hiring to be $8,000 instead. So I just take note this one first. Now I go to scenarios, and I know that okay, I have to go to update the value in the medium size concert. I go to data, what if analysis, scenario manager, then I go to medium size concert, I edit it, and I know that this one for the cell B9 it is 8,000. I have not 7,500 anymore. I click OK. After that, I click show to see what happened. Okay, right now talent is updated to be 8,000 already, and the profit loss is updated to be 33,250 นะครับ. So in this case, let's go back to scenario summary report. You can see that this one is still 7,500, but in the scenario we update to be 8,000 already นะครับ. And apart from that one, the profit for the medium-sized concert is 33,750 นะครับ 33,750. But the new one นะครับ after we update the talent cost already, it goes to 33,250. It's not updated. What should we do? so นะครับ when you see the situation like this where scenario summary report doesn't update for us นะครับ if we say that you update something in your scenario the things that you have to do is that you delete the scenario summary worksheet out first นะครับ we don't use it we have to regenerate that scenario summary report so in this one I will regenerate the scenario summary report นะครับ I go to data tab what if analysis and scenario manager then I click summary นะครับ the result cell is profit loss in F18 yeah click OK you can see that right now this one is the new value for the talent fee already 8,000 and the result sale or the profit or loss is updated to be 33 to 50 already นะครับ so don't forget if you change any value in the scenarios you have to regenerate the scenario summary นะครับ otherwise it doesn't show the correct value นะครับ okay right so up to this point do you have any questions ครับ for the scenarios and scenario summary okay so if you don't have any questions นะครับ let me just have like some tip add some tips to the scenarios you can see that right now scenario seems to be useful for us but one thing is that if you print this scenario summary report out to your customer the things that is confusing is here your customer doesn't know what B4 means what B7 means and so on นะครับ so this is the problem of scenario summary report as well as scenario summary as well as well as scenario manager as well if you go to create the new scenario let's have a look นะครับ I go to create the scenarios I name it as test you can see that in here the value the sales that will be updated will show B4 B7 B9 B10 and so on you have to look between this box นะครับ this small window and your worksheet นะครับ B4 what is B4 B4 is concert size B7 what is it it is number of seats and so on it wastes the time so how can you fix this problem instead of having the cell location like this do we have any other way in order to fix this problem to let this kind of sales location to be displayed as the name of that cell the name of the value that you are entering instead and how do we gonna have the scenario summary to show other things rather than just the cell location somebody may say that can I type to replace this value for example I type concert size and so on นะครับ instead yeah you may be able to do that but the problem is that if you delete this scenario summary and regenerate it the things that you type in will be lost and you have to waste the time again to retype everything what should we do then in this case the way that we have to do is that we have to name the cell location we have to name the cell location instead of having the cell location like this we will have the name instead นะครับ but when you name the cell location นะครับ you have to be careful the first one you cannot have space นะครับ like concert size like this you can't you must use concert underscore size นะครับ instead bear in mind that the name of the cell นะครับ must be one word only if you say that okay you don't want to use underscore you have to use concert size without the space like this instead นะครับ okay otherwise you can't name that cell properly okay so now let's do it how do you gonna do that นะครับ The way that we do is that we will update the name of these yellow cells together. Okay, how to name this cell? How to name this cell? You can see that the location of this cell is the cell B4, as you see in this name box. That is B4. Now we will make use of this name box. Instead of having the cell location B4, we can type the value in. In this one, I click on the cell B4 first, and then in the name box, I rename it as concert underscore size, concert underscore size, concert underscore size. Press enter. Right now, you can see that it has the value concert underscore size instead of B4 already. Instead of B4 already. Now, I rename the next one, B7 to be number underscore seats. B9 with talent. B10 with venue underscore rental. B11 amplification. B12 is lighting. B13 with ticketing. I will rename just the yellow cells only. B14 is security. B15 is insurance. And F7 is price underscore per underscore ticket. You cannot use slash in here. And lastly, profit loss. Name it as profit underscore or underscore loss. So I rename all of the cells that will appear in the scenarios already. So everyone just complete rename all of the cells so that we can go to the next step together. Okay, so when you finish already, I will show you in the first thing first. If you would like to add the new scenario, how will the new scenario look like? I go to data tab, what if analysis, and scenario manager. Okay, if I add a new scenario, I name it as test scenario. Once I click OK, you can see that on the left hand side, it comes up with the list of the name of the cells instead of cell location. So this one helps you to fill up the value in the scenarios easily. Okay, so that's why we should rename these cells if you have to work with the scenarios. It makes your scenario to be prepared or to edit easily. This is the first thing. I don't really enter the values. I just want to show you that, okay, if I create a new scenario or if I add the new scenarios, it shows all the list of the name of the cells instead of cell location. This is the first one. Next, suppose I generate the new summary report. I generate the new summary report. What will look like? I click on summary and do the same thing. So this is a new scenario summary report. You can see that the changing cells, they show as the name of the cell instead of cell location. And also a result cell show the word profit or loss instead of the cell location as well. So this is the way that we do in order to show the scenario summary report in the proper way. Right. Okay. Up to this point, do you have any questions for the scenario summary and scenario manager? So in the exam, if you have to create the scenarios, and you say that you don't have the time to change the name of the cells, don't worry about it นะครับ you can just like leave it as a cell location instead of retyping the name like this นะครับ because I mean like I just like tell you if I say that it's the tips this one means that okay it's like for practical use นะครับ in the reality or in the real world application we do like this so that it can save your time in order to retype everything every round that you regenerate the scenario summary ครับ okay right so I don't want the old summary report anymore I delete it out นะครับ so I can use this one it is more useful right okay นะครับ if you don't have any questions for the scenario summary นะครับ and scenario manager we come to the last topic of the Microsoft Excel that we have to know for our midterm examination นะครับ in our midterm examination นะครับ the last topic will go to form in Microsoft Excel oh and by the way some of you asked me that do we have the list of the functions and features that we have to use in the midterm yes I will post it on our e-learning นะครับ so that you will see what functions that we have to use นะครับ okay right now นะครับ we come to the last topic that is form in Microsoft Excel นะครับ the form in Microsoft Excel what is the form in Microsoft Excel when we talk about the form in the form in a computer นะครับ normally I would like you to think about the what to say the Google form is the easiest example of the form you can see that in the Google form it has just like many tools for us to choose นะครับ but anyway let me just give you another example that is easier นะครับ to see assume that we have to what to say sign up นะครับ we want to sign up for our new Gmail account นะครับ hang on just won't be long let me just show you the example here first let me log out from my Gmail log out okay Gmail okay so this one นะครับ let's have a look if I want to sign up a Gmail account นะครับ this is the form นะครับ this is the form in the computer you can see that we have text box นะครับ we have this one with what we call checkbox นะครับ suppose I just and then you can see that in here นะครับ when you have this kind of tool already in Microsoft Excel I'm sorry in the Google subscription like this นะครับ this one นะครับ is another tool that we call radio button นะครับ that is what we call radio button here นะครับ when you compare with the checkbox is different because for the checkboxes if you have 10 boxes you can check for all 10 boxes there but for the radio button นะครับ like this if we have 10 of them นะครับ together we just choose one we can choose just one radio button only นะครับ it's like a multiple choice questions if you have 4 choices you can choose one choice only as your answer นะครับ this is difference between checkboxes and radio button in Microsoft Excel you can have the tools like this นะครับ to generate the form in Microsoft Excel as well because in this one นะครับ in this one it will help us in order to solve the problem นะครับ just won't be long นะครับ hello sorry okay so in this one นะครับ we will create a form in Microsoft Excel the reason why we have the form in Microsoft Excel is that sometimes we would like to just like get some data นะครับ like making your Excel file as a database and then you just call those kind of thing นะครับ for your customer for example if you say that okay your customer would like to find the price of the product นะครับ they can just like use the form in Microsoft Excel to help locating the price นะครับ in database that is our Microsoft Excel as well. Or sometimes if we set up a focus group and we have a questionnaire นะครับ for your customer นะครับ at that time if you say that you don't connect to the internet, for example, if you set up a focus group in overseas and then you just like would like to store the data in your computer only, you don't want to upload on the Google form, something like that, you can use Microsoft Excel to help you storing the data like that one by preparing the by preparing the form in Microsoft Excel นะครับ in order to help keeping the data for us. So these are just like the applications that we normally use the form in Microsoft Excel to help. Somebody said that why don't we use Google Form instead? In some situation, you have to know that we prefer to have the offline mode instead. For example, if you send this Excel file to other people in your company, you just like distribute your Excel file to other people in your company, and you would like them to just like use the offline one only because you are afraid that if it is on the Google form, okay, somebody outside your company may just like get this kind of data too. So that's why you may just like want to use the offline mode in the Excel, and after they fill up, you want them to just like send back this file to you, something like that. Or sometimes you have this Excel file in the shared drive นะครับ in your company's server. When anyone just like open up this Excel file, they can fill up the data in the Google form because, sorry, not Google form, the Excel form. One reason is because if you just like use the worksheet นะครับ and let they fill up the data, sometimes they may just like mess up the data that you have in the worksheet. That's why you may have to prepare it as the Excel form instead. So now, what are we going to do นะครับ Today I'll teach you how to activate the form in for Excel first นะครับ so that on the next class we can create the new form easily นะครับ we can create the new form easily. So นะครับ everyone in your Excel นะครับ the my first book one นะครับ okay, you save the file first. Okay, so in order to activate นะครับ in order to activate the form นะครับ to be used in the Excel, you just go to file นะครับ and then go to options, files and options นะครับ hang on, I think you don't see mine. Let me just share it again. Okay, in this one นะครับ everyone, you just save your file first นะครับ click on file and then choose options นะครับ choose on options. After that we click on customize ribbon นะครับ you will see on the right hand side นะครับ it said main tabs. Have a look นะครับ in order to use form in Excel, the developer tab must be checked นะครับ if it's unchecked, you have to check it นะครับ you have to check it. How do we know? When we go back, when we click OK, you should see the developer tab here นะครับ if the developer tab is exists on your menus, that means the form is ready for you to use นะครับ but if it's not chosen, what will look like? You can see that if I don't check it, I don't see the developer tab นะครับ on this one. I don't see the developer tab on the menu นะครับ then I have to turn it on first, otherwise I can't use นะครับ okay, in here. Okay, you just do it one time only. Next time when you open up your Excel, the developer tab will come automatically because it's the main it's the general setting for your Excel นะครับ it doesn't stick with your Excel file, but it's in your Microsoft Excel in your computer นะครับ okay, this is preparation of your Excel form นะครับ on the next class I will talk about different tools in Microsoft Excel นะครับ that will make your workbook นะครับ look like the database that you can just like show and enter the data and save the data นะครับ so the users can just like click and choose instead of typing everything. The interface can be just like changed according to the tools that we choose instead of having just like the worksheet or the table like this นะครับ okay then up to this point.
Sorry.
Yes,
It doesn't work on my MacBook.
in Mac it's different นะครับ it's different. I'll just like record a video for Mac how do we gonna do that in e-learning for you ครับ because
Alright.
right now today I have just like Microsoft Windows based only นะครับ
Alright, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. And everyone ครับ in our computer lab นะครับ on the next week we are going to use the computer lab in building 1 นะครับ building 1 is the old building not the new building นะครับ not อาทิตยาธร building. It's on 5th floor. We'll use room 1512 นะครับ for our computer lab. So in that in all of the computer labs that we have นะครับ we have Windows based computer. That means for anyone who plan to use Mac for your midterm examination นะครับ bring your own Mac to the computer lab as well นะครับ on the next week. Otherwise, you might be confused because as I told you earlier, the examination will be the online and you have to do it from home. And if you say that, okay, you normally use Mac, but when you go back home, you have, normally you use Mac, but when you just like have to go to the computer lab in MUIC, you use Windows, then you might be confused นะครับ so just believe me, if you plan to use Mac for your midterm exam, bring your Mac on the next week นะครับ so that you'll be familiarized with the Mac when you have to use it for your midterm exam นะครับ the next thing นะครับ that I have to tell you, there are two more things that I have to tell you นะครับ yesterday อาจารย์วีระ just called me. He would like to shift the exam time a bit because MUIC doesn't allow us to have the exam up to 8 p.m. นะครับ so the original exam time was 5 to 8 นะครับ was 5 to 8. Ajahn Vira would like us to shift the time to be 4 to 7 p.m. on Sunday, the 21st instead. นะครับ I will also just like I also put it in Sky already นะครับ and then I'll just like update on our line group so that you not be confused นะครับ so the exam time will be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. นะครับ 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. from on February the 21st นะครับ that is Sunday นะครับ okay right and just a little bit more นะครับ before we finish the class or after midterm examination we have to use the tool that is what we call Power BI นะครับ Microsoft Power BI that is a free software to download. Unfortunately นะครับ it's on Windows based computer only นะครับ it's on Windows based computer only. So when I think when you are in the classroom, there's no problem at all because we use the Windows-based computer. But when you have to do the exam, นะครับ final examination, every of you must have นะครับ Power BI on your computer นะครับ That means if you have Mac นะครับ if you use Mac as a basis, you have to install Windows on your Mac นะครับ I recommend you to go to the IT store นะครับ to let them help you to install Windows on your Mac. Otherwise, you cannot install Power BI ครับ so for the past 2 terms when we had the online examination นะครับ I asked the students to do like this. The first they have a couple of choices. The first one นะครับ they go to the IT store and let them just install for you นะครับ install Windows on your Mac นะครับ on your MacBook. So they have to install they have to install some software like Bootcamp นะครับ or parallel desktop software on your computer first. And after that you install Windows on that. So your Mac can run Windows, and after that you install Power BI นะครับ that is the first way that you may do. While somebody may say that they can borrow the computer นะครับ the PC from other people, that is another choice that you can have นะครับ this is my recommendation because otherwise you cannot install Power BI นะครับ and then you can't do your final exam for sure นะครับ so um, because right now you can just like go out for to the IT store already. Please do it นะครับ because after our midterm exam we will start Power BI straight away นะครับ please do it right now. We still have time for around like 2 more weeks before the Power BI will be taught นะครับ so just do it. Okay, right.